肉应不应该吃？
Can we eat meat? Schwefong. March 28, 2007. According to Buddhist teachings, one should not eat meat, because eating meat is killing and destroying life, which is cruel and unmerciful. People who eat meat are not acceptable to Buddhism. Another viewpoint is that the meat you eat may have come from your parents and relatives, because it may come from the animal that they happen to have been reincarnated into. Therefore, one should absolutely abstain from eating meat. Later Buddhist preachers proposed in light of the actual situation of followers living at home that 3 clean meat is eatable, namely, meat can be eatable if it does not come from the animal that is killed for you, that you do not want to kill or that you have seen killed. That is to say, the meat that you eat does not come from the animal that is killed specially for you, and you don't kill animals or see animals being killed. Tibetan Buddhism thinks that meat is eatable, because Tibetans are mostly herdsmen, for whom beef and mutton are their staple food, without which they can hardly survive. Followers of Judaism, Christianity, Roman Catholicism, and Orthodox Church eat meat, but do not eat the meat of dead animals. They only eat the meat of killed animals. The Old Testament of the Bible has made a detailed classified description of the animals that can be eaten and the animals that cannot be eaten. Islamism has a strict restriction on the eating of meat. This restriction comes from the Bible. As are different from Christians, Muslims, followers of Islamism, do not eat pork and carrion, because pork and carrion are not clean and thus will pollute man's spiritual nature. Besides, before killing animals, Muslims will chant scriptures to console animals and release their souls from purgatory, which reflects the mercy and care of Muslims for animals. On the basis of abiding by the Bible, the witnesses of Yahweh strictly forbid the eating of animal blood, regarding blood not meat as the life of animals. Life Achanuan holds the viewpoint that life is divided into different levels. Life at lower levels serves life at higher levels, and by way of sacrifice life can get over its plight and create condition for a higher realm. Life should serve each other, life is interrelated, and only by serving other forms of life can it attain a higher realm. Therefore, Life Achanuan neither objects to not supports the eating of meat. Whether one eats meat or not depends on the actual situation. Each individual can behave according to his habits and be flexible, act in accordance with our nature, and take advantage of the opportunities as they arise. Life Achanuan has several principles with regard to the eating of meat. 1. Do not eat the meat of wild animals so that the chain of life can be protected and will not be cut off. 2. When killing livestock and poultry for food, we had better learn from the Muslim approach and chant scriptures to release their souls from purgatory, offering them consolation at the end of their life and minimizing their sufferings. 3. Let professionals do the killing. Ordinary people do not do the killing, because professionals can minimize and shorten the sufferings of animals, while ordinary people are likely to bring a lot of pain to animals and may prolong the sufferings. 4. Do not eat dog flesh because dogs have very high spiritual nature. The higher the spiritual nature of an animal, the greater the damage will be to the person who eats its meat. 5. Eat the cattle, goats, pigs, and chickens that have been raised specially to provide meat, and one had better refrain from eating livestock and poultry that have not been raised for this purpose. There is affection between man and poultry and livestock, which can only be felt by those who have taken great care in feeding them. I have seen cattle shedding tears, sheep looking sad, and chickens attaching to people. One cannot bear to kill those animals for which he has affection. 6. Chanyuan celestials can have meat but should not kill animals and do not witness the killing of animals. I have said, eating vegetables makes one sober, eating meat makes one bemuddled, eating grains makes one wise, and eating chi makes one deity-like. The higher the spiritual nature of an animal and plant, the greater the damage will be to the person who eats them. The meat of a killed animal is no longer life but a kind of energy. Therefore, eating meat is only taking in the energy. However, any food has its structure and contains information, and one will be affected by the food he eats. One will be infected if he eats poultry contracted with bird flu. Although poultry provides a kind of meat, Virgin croton is a kind of energy, but one may suffer loose bowels after eating it. Chili is a kind of energy, but one will feel unbearably hot after eating it. Any kind of food will have either more or less positive or negative effects on us. The danger of eating meat lies in the fact that we are affected by the meat we eat. The hate of the animal eaten by us will be transferred to our body, and the natural endowments and instinct of the eaten animal will have effect on us. When an animal is being killed, its indignation and resentment will cause it to release a toxin in its meat. We will absorb the toxin when we eat the meat. Muslims are trying to lower the content of toxins to the greatest extent when they chant scriptures and release their souls from the purgatory and console them before killing animals. You can make an experiment. When you are enraged, your face will turn pale and blue, because your anger has triggered the release of toxins in your body. You are what you eat, and this is only a matter of degree. Why do I stress again and again that we should feel a sense of gratitude every time we have the meal? Because only with a feeling of gratitude can we convert the toxins in the food and change the structure of food to benefit our own health. Christians will make prayer to the God at each meal to thank Him for the food He has given to people. And the deep level of reason for this is to convert the toxins. You can eat whenever you want to, but you must be grateful. Do not eat if do not want to, but do not feel that you have not gained advantage as a result. You can eat when you have to, but you may try your best to refrain from eating or try to eat as little as you can. You can understand the more profound ways concerning meat eating after you have learned non-form thinking and holographic thinking. The best way is to eat nothing. Eating qi is godlike. We can directly assimilate the essence of the sun and the moon and the anima of the earth. I have already offered you the key to open the Dharma eye, consciousness, structure, and energy. Any food is the conversion of energy. We eat mainly to absorb the energy contained in food. Then why do we still need to eat if we can absorb energy directly? Actually, whether one eats meat or not is related to the structure of everyone's life. Why doesn't sheep eat meat? Why does wolf eat meat? This is determined by their different structure of life. With self-cultivation and self-refinery, a person who likes meat very much will gradually lose interest in it, will grow averse to it, and may feel disgusted even at sight of it. Why? Because the non-material structure of your life has changed. Do not pretend, do not force and push. Let's conform to natural tendency. The core issue is to perfect the non-material structure of life, which is the key to solving problems and the key to self-refinery. Dieting is mainly a habit of thinking. If we have unconventional thinking, we can do away with dieting. When we say that we should pay off our debts in the human world, be sure to bear in mind that we still have to pay back the debts to nature and the debts to plants. Why should we hold life and nature in awe and respect? Why should we protect life and nature? The purpose is to pay back our debts, not for the sake of morality. In modern times, the best way to pay off our debts is to build life genuine. The reason behind this is very profound, so we must strive to perceive and understand it.
健康的奥秘和价值。
The Mystery and Value of Health. Jiefeng. July 23, 2011. Translated by Treasure and edited by Kayer. As people, we must keep our bodies healthy and energetic, for it is only when we are healthy that we can taste the sweetness of life. Once our health is lost, everything else goes. As people, we should never suffer illness. Even when death befalls us, we should not die of illness, but we should try for a death without illness. So, how do we remain healthy and avoid illness? Simply, the mystery of staying healthy and avoiding illness lies in having a perfect soul and a complete consciousness. If one's soul is perfect and their consciousness is complete, then I will guarantee that they will never get ill nor encounter unpredictable disasters. All causes of diseases lie in the non-material structures of life. If one structure goes wrong, then they will inevitably get ill or encounter some other disaster. If there is no problem with their structure, then there is no possibility of illness or disaster. The problem of structure is the problem of consciousness. If the consciousness is not pure, then the structure is imperfect. But if the consciousness is orderly and pure, then the structure must be perfect. How do we make our consciousnesses pure and perfect? There is only one solution, that is by taking the way of the greatest creator, following the teachings of Jesus Christ and Buddha Sakyamuni, and conducting oneself and acting according to the teachings of God, Buddha, celestial beings, and saints. To be specific, it is by building our soul gardens. As long as there are no weeds in our soul gardens, then our bodies will surely be in good health and there will be no way to get ill or encounter unpredictable disasters. Desire, anger, ignorance, pride, and jealousy are weeds in our soul gardens. Envy, complaining, comparing, anger, selfishness, laziness, pride, arrogance, greed, and avid possession are all weeds in our soul gardens. All negative, gloomy, and pessimistic ideas, thoughts, and moods are weeds in our soul gardens which we should clean up thoroughly or good health will be hard to maintain. People rack their brains to maintain their health. The ancient emperor's classic internal manuscripts listed ways for people to have good health and avoid illnesses. From Shangnong's Herbal Classic to the theories on health of Bianc, Huatawa Zhanghongying, Sun Simeo, and Li Shizhen. From healthcare theories of Taoism to today's treasures of health, compiled and explained by top Chinese medical healthcare experts. From Qin Shi Huang's Searching for the Catholicons to various current ways and medicines of finding the keys to health. From traditional Chinese medicine to modern Western medical science. From all kinds of health magazines to the 5 volumes of Wisdom of Avoiding Illness by E. From meridian collateral theory to the ways of collecting qi and self-cultivating. As far as I am concerned, these health theories, as vast as a misty ocean, are only theories which begin to scratch the surface of treating symptoms but not root causes and are ineffective attempts at solutions. Have you been ill, been hurt in a car accident, been bitten by a dog or a snake, fallen down suddenly, or twisted your ankle? All these things were due to the imperfection of your consciousness and soul. Never blame other factors. Find the reasons for yourselves. Facts speak louder than words. Chanyuan celestials who settle in the second home will become free of illness, and those who become ill will regain their health quickly by taking the way of the greatest creator. I want everyone to hear and see that if Chanyuan celestials who settle in the second home no longer get sick over the next few years and if the sick ones recover quickly, then that will prove the validity of my words. Then, people should take the way of the greatest creator and enter the second home as soon as possible.
疾病缠身、生活不顺者祈祷词
A prayer for those suffering from illnesses. Jiefeng. May 18, 2010. Translated by Qin Yu and edited by Kair. Almighty Ancestor of Buddha, the greatest creator. Once knowing nothing about Tao or virtue and muddle-headed, I am crawling at your feet, crying and confessing to you today. I have been sick for many years and my life is not going well. I finally realized the truth that divine punishments, though slow, are always sure with big meshes, yet letting nothing slip through, reap what you have sown, and minds are the most important of the 3 realms, and consciousness is the most important of all rules. It is that one's consciousness creates their reality, one's diseases are caused by their wrong consciousness, and one's wrong outlook on life and values leads to the ups and downs of their life. This has nothing to do with heaven and earth, God and Buddha, or society and others, but is closely related to one's past karma. Those who resent their society and others, who always believe that they themselves are right, and who never seek out causes from themselves, will inevitably suffer from illnesses and endure bad lives. Beloved ancestor of Buddha, the greatest creator. Fragrances attract butterflies to flowers and consciousness flows freely when your heart is at peace. Birds live in trees and fish swim in water. Different environments attract different species as different mentalities attract different health and living conditions. Often being angry and resentful causes diseases and being jealous, aggressive, selfish and greedy leads to an unsatisfactory life. Active, optimistic and positive attitudes will invite better lives, but pessimistic, passive and negative attitudes will invite tragic lives. I have deeply understood this truth and now have a clear consciousness, a calm feeling, a stable mood, and a tranquil mind. I have a premonition that miracles will happen to me, the disease will leave me gradually, my health will recover, My rough and unsatisfactory time will end here, and a new and beautiful life will start now. Ancestor of Buddha, the greatest creator. You are the only master of the universe, the source of life, the birthplace of wisdom, and the guarantor for a better life. I will forevermore follow you closely, be grateful to you, and never be far from you or abandon you. Without sources of living water, rivers dry up. By leaving you, diseases will be ridden and life will not be smooth. I sincerely pray that you will allow me to be your servant. Even if only a blade of grass in your garden, I would be most happy to be such. I pray for your fulfillment of my wish that your warm light will always shine on me, and your gentle breeze will always blow on me. All darkness will stay far from me and no misfortune will visit me again because I will be bathed in your spiritual light. I firmly believe that your boundless compassion will dissolve all my misfortunes and the shadows that hung over my heart. From this point on, my life will be as sunshine in the breeze. Beloved ancestor of Buddha, the greatest creator, through the dawn I have seen my bright future. The 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Elysium Islands continent beckon me. Everything there is so very beautiful and peaceful. There is no fighting, killing, seizing, or robbing. There are no disasters or suffering, no sorrow or fear, no worries about food, clothing, shelter, transportation, birth, illness, aging, or death. No one possesses anything but everyone owns everything, and lives happily, joyously, freely, and blessedly every day. Flowers will bloom, birds will tweet, and radiant and enchanting spring days will never end. That this is my future, I am fully confident without the slightest doubt. Starting today, I will move closer to the kingdom of heaven with each step. Almighty ancestor of Buddha, the greatest creator, as long as I am with you, boundless miracles will happen, all my illnesses will disappear, and my unhappy situation will change quickly. I pray that you will continue to bless me and invigorate me with energy. From now on, I will no longer get angry at or resent others, and will no longer wander or be discouraged or depressed. I will deal with people with a positive and optimistic attitude, cultivate a generous and open mind, and pursue perfection bit by bit. Under your guidance and protection, I will cultivate towards a better state to embrace my new life and future. O ancestor of Buddha, my heart is Bodhi, my roots are deep, my leaves are lush. I am free and at ease without worries, anxiety, fear, inverted dreams. Spiritual light illuminates my universe, and the Dharma body covers my world. My mind is clear, my consciousness is pure, and the light of my nature is perfect and full of vitality. Auspiciousness follows me and luck comes to me. Prosperity is wherever I go in this world or in heaven, and all is in harmony. You lead in heaven, I walk on the earth, and the distant shore is closer. I will travel by day and night, and all my wishes will be fulfilled. Amen.
脱凡古禅定法
How to be free from the mortal body during meditation. Jiefeng. Translated by Qin Yu, edited by Peter. Find a secluded place with singing birds and fragrant flowers, unobstructed space and cleanliness. Invite a close friend to guard you so that insects, snakes, and scorpions cannot come close, miscellaneous people will not come around, and no one will be shouting and the sounds of horses and cars will not disturb you. Sit cross-legged, quietly, not limited to full lotus or half lotus, just sit casually. Straighten the body, relax, make the joints respond accordingly, neither leaning nor bending, loosen your clothes and belt. If there is a little uneasiness, move slightly to adjust yourself so as to be more comfortable. Keep quiet for a while when the body and mind are stable and the breath is peaceful, then put your tongue against the roof of your mouth where the lips and teeth meet, then gradually look at eye level and slowly close your eyes. Then start to adjust your breath, not breathing deeply or heavily, but let your breath be thin and long with no thinking, no notions. Just sit quietly. In the first few days, the trees may prefer to be calm, but the wind will not subside. The kindness and enmity in the world, the merits and demerits, will be reflected in your mind one by one. You cannot drive them away, and you cannot dispel them because when you drive one away, another emerges. In the middle few days, self-desires will prevail, ideals, fantasies, and delusional scenes begin to appear in your mind, which you will not be able to make clear or to make them be in order. In the last few days, all views and peculiarities will gradually disappear, and your heart will gradually calm down, no longer being mindful of fame, fortune, karmic relatives, and other things. At this time, like a basin of dirty water, the scum floating on the surface of the water will have been skimmed off, the water quality will begin to show, the surface of the water will show a little light from the sun and the moon, the shadows of clouds, trees, and birds. With your mind holding up, your body practicing automatically, and your body and mind being straightened naturally, sitting without getting tired, your mind will be naturally clear and quiet, corresponding to your calmness, which holds the body and mind and makes them completely immovable. And the mind, from shallow to deep, becomes more and more stable without distractions. This is the first level of meditation. At the first level of meditation, there will be tactile sensations such as jumping, itching, coolness, warmth, lightness, heaviness, astringency, smoothness, falling, coldness, heat, floating, sinking, firmness, and softness, etc. And you will not see your body and any surrounding objects while sitting, as if you are in a void. When one enters deep into meditation gradually, the body and mind will become empty and quiet. One does not see inside or outside. At the same time, when the sense of touch arises, 10 merits and virtues appear along with it from the outside. 1. Concentration. 2. Emptiness. 3. Brightness and clearness. 4. Happiness. 5. Joy. 6. Kindness. 7. The understanding of perception. 8. Liberation. 9. Divine connecting presents. 10. Softness of the heart and body. In this state, the whole body becomes limp, the body and mind are carefree, and it is an extremely wonderful feeling, 100 times more pleasurable than the feeling of your wedding night, like waking up after a deep sleep and finding a treasure when you are in poverty. You have been awakened to the truth of life. But be sober, you have just skimmed off the scum floating on the surface of your basin of dirty water, and you have tasted a little bit of the mysteries of the great world. If you have a heart full of joy and celebration, and have become infatuated with this aesthetic feeling and are reluctant to leave, you must forget to return and you will no longer be able to make progress, and you will even fall into the realm of desire again. If you want to enter the second level of meditation, you must abandon the previous realm. Just like a strong man who is burning with desire resolutely leaves a nude young girl who is full of affection, and a poor man who is hungry and cold rejects a table full of delicacies. By 1. Not accepting. 2. Berating. And 3. Observing and analyzing so you can get away from the error of the first level awakening. The awakening is extinguished, the previous divine connection disappears, and you have left the first level of meditation. After leaving the first level of meditation, if you continue to sit in meditation, you must not have any regrets, otherwise, as the story in the Bible said, Lot's wife became a pillar of salt just because she looked back. Genesis 19 verses 17 and 26. On the way forward, don't look back, don't linger on the past, and don't be greedy for what you obtain. The lack of one basketful of earth spoils the entire effort to build a high mountain. You should abandon everything and move forward with your whole mind. Over time, before you know it, you will suddenly see a hungry tiger pounce on you, or a poisonous snake hissing and attacking you with its head up, or a monster with a green face and fangs opening its bloody mouth to bite you, or a headless ghost with its 5-pointed fingertips trying to grab you, or you may see a gentle and graceful fairy with ribbons fluttering on her body, floating towards you on auspicious clouds in melodic fairy music, or see the beautiful scenery, which is attractive, with many pavilions and towers among the green mountains and green waters covered by clouds and mist. Among the towers and pavilions, there are girls smiling and chasing each other. Several sensual beauties even make eyes with you and wave to you, and so on. These are the impurities in your spirituality, which are demonic. The scenes you see are illusory and unreal. They do not come from the outside world, but from within yourself. When these scenes appear one by one, as long as you are not afraid, let them try to invade you, but don't take the bait. Allow them to seduce you and keep still, and all kinds of illusions will gradually disappear. At this time, the impurities in your dirty water have been filtered out, and your water gradually becomes clear, and the true nature of the water will begin to appear. At this time, all phenomena in the vast world will be clearly reflected in this basin of water, and your heart will suddenly be clear and will shine, concentration and happiness will emerge, just like a person coming out of the darkness, suddenly seeing outside that the spring is bright, the wind is gentle, the blue waves in the lake are rippling, the mountains are covered with green in various shades, the valley is full of fragrant flowers and birds are singing, white clouds are floating in the blue sky. What a peaceful scene! This is the second level of meditation. At the second level of meditation, not only are there 10 kinds of merits and virtues that are generated from within, but also you will reach 4 realms. 1. Inner purification. 2. Pleasure. 3. Joy. And 4. Peace of mind. Inner purification refers to the realization that your mind corresponds with your consciousness from the body, which corresponds with your consciousness in the first level of meditation, reaching of the manifestation of the direct Buddha nature from the awakening of your mentality. Pleasure refers to the self-pleasure of the body and mind, knowing that one has attained 10 kinds of merit and virtue. One's inner pleasure is immeasurable. Joy refers to tranquility, delight and cheerfulness, continuous beauty and joy. Peace of mind refers to escaping a catastrophe, the denial of suffering and joy, that the way ahead is clear, the fairyland is near, the mind is unmoved, and this state of mind is not easy to alter. It must be understood that the joy produced in the second level of meditation is low-level joy, which is impure, and there is no such joy in real spirituality, Buddha nature. This joy comes from your body, so you should observe your mind and examine this joy. Not only should you refuse it, but you should also berate and reject it. If you do not accept it, it will silently fade away. Only this joy comes from the core of the cells and the depths of the soul. To abandon it, it can be said that the road to Shu is harder than scaling the sky afar. If the joy only comes from the heart, it is easy to do. The key is that it does not all come from the heart. Just like an animal, even if its heart is cut out, the cells and other parts of its body are still moving. This joy is full of capillaries and nerve endings of the whole body. If it is not restrained, it will disturb the heart and make the heart intoxicated. The elimination of joy mainly depends on wisdom and mind power. In the process of meditation, as long as good things happen, don't be greedy and nostalgic. You must berate and not accept it, and joy will disappear by itself. Just like the Tang monk went to the Western heaven to acquire scriptures, if he is greedy for wealth and honor, for the back garden of the king of the kingdom of women, for the 1,000 kinds of conjugal love and 10,000 kinds of amorous feelings the jade hair from the moon will bring to him, he will never reach the Western heaven, and will never get the real scriptures. After subduing the obstacle of the second level of meditation, your mind will become calm again. Continue to sit quietly and adjust your breath, and gradually, you will feel refreshed, and your whole body will be filled with contentment and simplicity. You will remain in this state for several hours or several days or several months. Then many mirages appear like dreams, such as seeing yourself as a king, accepting the worship of all the officials, being surrounded by beauties in the harem, being filled with indescribable joy, endless pleasure, or seeing yourself walk on air and flying to the Penglai fairy pavilion. All the gods come to greet you, inquire about your well-being with concern, and give you a warm reception. Some invite you to eat peaches on a certain fairy mountain, some invite you to go to a certain cave to appreciate its treasures, and some invite you to go to a certain tower to enjoy the scenery of the mountains, etc. Or you see yourself being invited by the Jade Emperor and you sit next to the Emperor. In front of you are countless delicacies from the mountains and seas, and much delicious fine dining. The Jade Emperor affably persuades you to drink, with countless gods standing on both sides. You feel that you are extremely majestic, great, and glorious, etc. The reason why you can see these kinds of scenes is because you have self in your heart, and self is still an impurity. You then remember that during the second level of meditation, your basin of dirty water has filtered out the impurities, and has become a basin of clean water. But this clear water is by no means pure water, H2O. And there are compounds and plankton in it that cannot be seen with the naked eye. If these impurities are not removed, your pure spirituality, Buddha nature, will still not appear. The purpose of the first level of meditation is to transcend the realm of desire. The purpose of the second level of meditation is to transcend the realm of form, and the purpose of the third level of meditation is to transcend the realm of formlessness. When you have a self in your mind, you are still in the five elements, still in the cycle of life and death. So when you see yourself becoming a king, praised by the immortals and invited by the Jade Emperor, don't accept it, but run away quickly. Don't look back and don't be reluctant to leave. Run away. Escape. Escape. Flee until everything is gone, nothing is left, and even you have disappeared, everything is empty, and you have reached the third level of meditation. At the third level of meditation, you have become an immortal. The biggest feature of this level is a much reduced diet. If you sit in meditation, you won't think about food for 10 or 8 days. Because of the low energy consumption, you don't even need to eat and drink, forming your own small universe system. Even if you live in the height stop area of Mount Everest in the Himalayas, the so-called death altitude area, it won't pose a threat to your life for 2 or 3 months. The highest realm of Indian yoga is the third level of meditation. When you are in the third level state of meditation, whether you are walking, sitting, or lying down, you are in the process of cultivation. You don't need to practice in a quiet place, and you don't need your friends to protect and support you. It's okay even when you wander around downtown. Your body, internal organs, bones, tendons, and marrow, chi, blood, nerves, facial features, hair, etc., are undergoing chemical changes. In less serious cases, some parts of your body will become sarira, and in severe cases, your whole body will become adamantine and indestructible. Going one step further, you will reach the fourth level of meditation. At this time, you will have the supernatural power to transform, and you can ascend to the 1,000-year world or the 10,000-year world. After reaching the fifth level of meditation, you have become a Buddha and can ascend to the Elysium world. Since the fourth and fifth levels of meditation are beyond the scope of intermediate self-cultivation and intermediate healthcare, they will not be explained here.